Hi everyone, Mr. Vidich here. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 2.6, conversions between fractions and decimals. So we're going to learn how to go between taking a fraction and turning it into a decimal, and also taking a decimal and converting it into a fraction. So let's jump off with the harder one first, and that is to convert fractions into decimals. Okay, so I have 27 divided by 36. Get my fat pen out here. Okay, so 27 divided by 36. Well, let me ask myself, how many times does 36 go into 27? Well, it doesn't really go into 27. 36 is bigger than 27. So here's where we can use decimals to help us out. I can rewrite this 27 as 27 decimal 0. In other words, 27 is the same thing as 27.00. Okay, so how is this going to help me? Well, first of all, let me write this decimal up here, my answer as well. Now, I ask myself, how many times does 36 go into 270? Well, it goes 36 goes into 270 7 times. So I'm going to put it right up here. And then 7 times 36 is, what is that? That's going to be 252. So 252. Okay, and then I do my regular old division techniques here. I'm going to subtract 252 away from 270, and I get 18. Okay, well, 36 is bigger than 18, so we would have a remainder here, but we can use the other 0, and we're going to drop it down here to help us out with this question here. And now, how many times does 36 go into 180? And in fact, 36 goes into 80 5 times and no remainder. So 5 times 36 is actually 180. And then we're done. Okay, so I can put my 0 up here just for so it looks a little better. So my answer to this fraction, what is this 27 over 36 as a decimal? Well, it's going to be 0.75. Okay. All right, let's try another one here. All right, so now I have 12 divided by 25. So let me write this out. 12 divided by 25. Okay, again, 25 is bigger than 12. So I'm going to use my zeros to help me out here. And I'm going to put my 0 up here, and sorry, the decimal up here and the 0. Okay, so 25 goes into 120. I believe 4 times. 4 times, and 4 times 25 is 100. Okay, and then 120 minus 100 is going to give me 20. So I need to borrow another 0. There we go. And again, I'm not changing this the number 12. The number 12 stays the same. Doesn't matter how many zeros I put after the decimal. That's a really important point. Okay, if I just had 12 like this, and I put a 0 here, well, that would make 120. But if I have 12 decimal 0, that's still 12. Okay, so that's an important point to keep in mind here. Okay, so let me borrow this 0 here. And now 25 goes into 200 8 times. And it goes into 200 exactly 8 times. So 8 times 25 is 200. And then we're done. So my answer to 12 over 25 as a decimal is 0.48. And circle your answers over here. Okay, let's look at this one over here. This one is a little bit interesting. What do we have here? So 77 divided by 99. Okay, 77. And again, I have the same problem. 99 is bigger than 77, so I'm going to use my zeros over here. And you can put as many as you like. You might not need to use all of them, but it doesn't matter. So as you like, you can do them now or later. All right, here we go. So it goes into 99 goes into 77 0 times, so we have to go over to 770. Okay, so 99 goes into 770 7 times. And then 7 times 99 is going to be, well, 7 times 100 is 700, so I have 7 less. So that's going to be 693. And then I have to do that 770 minus 693 is going to give me 77. Again, 77. Interesting. Okay, 77. Now I need to borrow another 0 over here. All right, so now I have, okay, 99 is going to go into 770. Ooh, this looks familiar. I think I did this a few seconds ago. Okay, well, I think it's going to be 7 again. And 7 times 99 is going to be 693. Ooh, okay, what's going on here? And I'm getting the same thing happening here, 77. And if I borrow another 0, it's going to be 770. And again, 99 goes into that 7 times. Well, we might be here all night. Okay, 7 times 99 is, again, 693. Okay, what's going on here? 770 minus 693 gives me, again, 77. Whoa, we really will be here all day. Okay, well, I think most of you see the pattern here. I'm going to keep going on forever this way. So in this case, we have what's called a repeating decimal. And, you don't have to write out all the 7s because you'd get old and you'd still be doing the question. So we're going to stop, and this is how we're going to write our answer. Let me get my black pen out here. So we're going to write it as 0.7, and then we're going to put a little bar like this above the 7. And what that says is that the 7 is going to repeat on forever. So 0.7777. Okay, that's one way of writing it. So that shows that it's repeating. Or there's another way we can write this answer, and I'm going to do that one in red. We can do what's called rounding off, rounding up or rounding down. And if I say let's round off to 1 decimal place, so if my answer is 0.777, if I say let's round up to 1 decimal place, well, I only want 1 decimal place in my answer. So my answer is going to be 0 decimal, but when I round, I have to look at the next digit over here. And if the next digit is above 5 or above, I round up. And if it's 4 or below, I will round down. So in this case, the 7 is going to be rounded up to an 8. Okay. Since we're doing rounding here, let me do another example. Let's say I wanted to round it off to 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal places is the tenths and the hundredths position here. So again, I would look at the third digit, and again see if that one is bigger or smaller than 5, and if it's 5 or bigger, I would round up. So in this case, my answer would be 2 decimal places. So 7 is the first decimal, and then instead of writing a 7, I'm going to round up to an 8 because the third decimal up here, the thousandths position is a 7. Okay, but since we're doing decimals here, let's and fractions, let's convert. Let's focus on those. Okay, let's move down and do a few more examples. All right, let's see. It says convert the following decimals to fractions. All right, so now we're going the other way around, from decimals to fractions. And I think this one is a little bit easier than the other way, as long as you know your place values. Okay, so let's see how that's going to help us out. So our place values again are starting with the tenths, hundredths, and then thousandths, ten thousandths, and so on. Okay, so here's how we do this one. So I look at the 7, I look at my last digit over here, and that's what position is that digit in? Well, it's in the hundredths position. So because it's in the hundredths position, I'm going to take my decimal and write it over 100. Okay, fairly straightforward, fairly easy. So 7 over 100. And again, why did I choose the 100? Because the 7 is in the 100th position. So what this says here is that you have 7 out of 100, or 7 divided by 100. So if I was looking at, if I was to take $1, okay, so $1, and if I was to break it up into pennies, into cents, I would have, 100 cents. Okay, and what this fraction says is that I have 7 out of 100 cents. In other words, you have 7 cents, and this is the decimal way of writing it. Okay, so you have 7 hundredths of $1, or 7 cents. Okay, let's see this one over here. Now we have a whole number 3 here in front of the decimal. So that one we're gonna leave as it is, because that's already a whole number, and we know how to work with that one. But the decimal 125, we have to convert that to a fraction. So again, I ask myself, I look at the last digit. In this case, the last digit is a 5. And in what position, what place value is that 5 located in? Well, that 5 is located in the thousandths position, excuse me. So it goes tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So I'm going to take my number 125 and write it over 1,000. All right, not bad. Okay, can anybody see what else I can do with this one, with my fraction here? Okay, well, we always want things in the simplest form, so I'm going to simplify this fraction. So I have 3, and then I find, I want to simplify this. So what's the highest common factor between 125 and 1,000? And if you're not really sure, you can use your prime factorization method to find out. But I can see that the highest common factor in this case is going to be 125. So 125 goes into 1,000. So I'm going to divide both top and bottom by 125. And I will get, as an answer, 1 over 8. So my final answer is 3 1/8. Okay, there we go. Let's keep rolling along here. All right. Calculate the following and give your solution as both a fraction and a decimal. Ooh, okay, so now I got some adding, I got some multiplication, I got some whole numbers, I got some fractions, I got some decimals. So whoa, a lot of stuff going on here. So let me see what I'm going to do first. Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert everything into one form. And what I mean by that is I'm going to convert everything into either decimals or improper fractions. Decimals or improper fractions. And I think in this case, my best bet here is to convert everything to an improper fraction and then go from there. Okay, so let me start here with the first part here, and I'm going to convert that to an improper fraction. So I'm going to go 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3, that's 11. So the first one is 11 over 4. And then I'm adding 1.5. And 1.5 as a fraction, I'm going to do that in red down here. So 1.5 as a fraction is going to be, and again, so remember our rules here, the 1's just going to stay where it is. And that 5 is located in the 10th position, so I'm going to write it as 5 over 10. And then I'm going to simplify that to 1 over 1/2. And finally convert it to an improper fraction, and that would be 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, and that is 3 over 2. Okay, so that's going to go right here. So 3 over 2. All right, then I have the 1/2, and I'm going to do that one down here. Well, 1/2 Well, that was done for us already. Okay, that one's already a fraction, so I'm going to write down. So remember, it's multiplication here times 1/2. Now, really important. Okay, we have to follow our order of operations. So I'm going to do the multiplication first before I do the addition. Okay, so let me do that first, and I'm going to get rid of this little bit here. That can go away. Come on, get out of here. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to continue down here. I kind of interrupted my little work here, so I'm going to rewrite this down here and finish it off. So 11 over 4 plus 3 over 2 times 1/2. Let me do this multiplication first. So I'm going to leave this as 11 over 4. And then again, remembering how to multiply fractions, we multiply the tops and the bottoms. Pretty simple. So it's going to be 11 over 4 plus 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 times 2 is 4. And now I'm going to add these together, and hey, look at that. I have the same denominator, so I don't have to do any finding the common denominator, so it's kind of an easy one to do here. So I'm just going to add the tops, the numerators, and my final answer is 11 plus 3, which is 14. 14 over 4. Oh, and I'm going to simplify that into 7 over 2. And finally, I'm going to make that into a mixed fraction, and that's going to be, well, let me see, 2 goes into 7. 2 goes into 7 3 times. Okay, so 3 times, and then I'm going to have 1 left over because 3 times 2 is 6. But I have 7, so I'm going to have 1 left over and 1/2. All right, that was a long one. Circle that one there. Okay, moving on. So okay, now we have some brackets, we have some subtraction. All right, let's see how we can do this. We have, whoa, look at this one. We have decimals in our fraction. Okay, so how are we going to work with those? Okay, well, I'm going to ignore this 1.6 for now because I always want to do this stuff inside the brackets first. So I'm just going to write it down here, 1.6, and I'm going to write multiplication here, and then I'm going to do all the stuff in the brackets first. Okay, so first I'm going to convert this to the 5 1/5 into an improper fraction. It's going to be 5 times 5, 25, plus 1, 26, 26 over 5, minus, okay, now I have some work to do here. I have 7.3, and I'm going to rewrite this way. 7.3 divided by 2.5. Okay, let's keep going on the next line here. So 1.6 on the outside, 26 over 5, minus, and now I'm going to convert those decimals into fractions. So 7.3 is going to be 7 3/10 divided by 2 5/10, or it's going to be 2 1/2 once I simplify this. So 2.5 is going to be 2 5 over 10, which equals 2 1/2. Okay, now let me convert this 1.6 here as well. So 1.6 is going to be 1 6 over 10 times 26 over 5 minus, okay, now I have to convert that into a mixed fraction as well. So 7 times 10 is 70, plus 3 is 73 over 10, divided by 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5 over 2. Okay, let me convert this to a mixed fraction. So that's 10 plus 6 is 16 over 10. Okay, 26 over 5 minus 73 over 10. And now we have to do this division first. And how do we divide fractions? Well, we changed our sign to multiplication, and we take the reciprocal of 5 over 2, and the reciprocal of 5 over 2 is going to be 2 over 5. So you just flip it around, 2 over 5, like this, okay? Flip that around. So it's going to be 2 over 5. Okay. Now, okay, it looks like I'm going to run out of room here. So bear with me. Here we go. Keep rewriting all this. 10 over 16, I might as well simplify that now. 10 over 16 can simplify into 8 over 5. So let me just change that into 8 over 5. There we go. Hopefully you've done that at home on your own. Times. And again, 26 over 5 can't be simplified anymore. And now I have, here we go, 73 times 2. Well, I'm not going to do that first. What I'm going to do, I'm going to write it all on one line here. Oh, let me get my pen back. I'm going to do it all in one line here. So I'm going to go 73 times 2, all divided by 10 times 5. And the reason I did that is because now I can simplify the 2 and the 10. And that becomes 1, and that becomes 5. And why is that? That's because 2 goes into both 2 and 10. In other words, if I had 2 over 10, I can simplify that to 1 over 5. And again, the order doesn't matter. You can do that division first, or you can you can do that simplification first before you do the multiplication. Now it's a little bit easier for us to work with. Okay, let me move down here. Hopefully I have some more room. Okay, look at that. Here we go. All right, so now I have, this by the way is the other one. So I have 8 over 5 times, let me get my fat pen back, times 26, that's in brackets, over 5, minus, and now 73 times 1 is 73, and 5 times 5 is 25. Woo! Okay, now 26 minus 73 over 25. Well, I can do that. I got to get a common denominator first. And the common denominator in this case is going to be 25. So 25. Oops. Some funky stuff's going on here. Okay, 25 minus 25. My denominator doesn't change for the second one. So that's going to be 73. Sorry about this, folks. Things are going haywire on me here. Okay, now the 5, in order to get 25, I change this 5 to 25 by multiplying it by 5. So I have to do the same thing to the numerator. And 26 times 5 is 130. 130. And then finally, now I can do my subtraction, and 130 minus 73 is going to give me 57. All right, look at that, more room. Okay, so that's going to give me 57 over 25. So let me rewrite this, 8 over 5 times. And now I don't need my brackets anymore because I've simplified everything. 57 divided by 25. And my final answer, or my final answer as an improper fraction, I have to multiply those. So I multiply the top. So 8 times 57. It's going to give me 456 over 125. All right, now, can we simplify that at all? Let me see if I can work something out here. Hold on. Okay, I don't think I can do anything with that. I'm pretty sure you can't, but I can turn it into a mixed fraction, and that's going to be 125 can go into 456 3 times, and then 3 times 125 is going to be 375, and 456 minus 375, that's going to be 99, I believe. So we have 99 over 125 as our final answer. Woo! That took a long time. Okay, now, last one of the day here. Here we go. So we have 1/6, or let me see, our question is, arrange the following in ascending order. And ascending means from the smallest to the biggest. And oh, my pen's disappearing on me. Okay. Again, ignore this. This is for the other question. So which of these is the smallest? Well, you have two of them are fractions, these two, and these two are decimals. So we have to either convert all of them to decimals or convert all of them to fractions. But then we got to get the common denominator. So I think I'm going to convert everything to decimals. It might be a little bit quicker. So 1 divided by 6, again, as a decimal. So let me just do that quickly off to the side here. So here we go, 6. I got the 1 over here. So 1 divided by 6. Again, I'm going to borrow some zeros here. So 6 goes into 10. How many times? It goes into 10 one time. So 1 times 6 is 6. Drop my 4 down. Drop my 0. 6 goes into 46 times. And 6 times 6 is 36. Get my 4 down. Oh, look at this. I'm going to have one of those repeating forever decimals here. So what's going to happen is this is going to be 0.16666. And let me just do a couple more zeros here just to show you. So 6 goes into 40. Whoa. What is going on here? There we go. 6 times. So 36. And then do another 4. And if I drop another 0, you get the idea here. Okay. So this one here is going to be 0.16. And I'm going to put a little bar on top of it to show that it's repeating. And this one is 0.3, so it's bigger than that one. And this one is even bigger than that one, 5, 6. And let me just do the 2 over 13 over here. So I have 13 is dividing the 2. And again, I need to put some zeros here in decimals. So 13 goes into 20 once. I get 7 over here. Let me grab some more zeros. 13 goes into 70. Let me see, 6 times. 5 times. 5, there we go. So 5 times 13 is going to be 65. That's going to give me 5. Drop another 0 down. And that's going to be, I believe, 3 times. 3 times 13 is 39. And that's going to give me 11. Oh, we got a bit of work to do here. Okay, and then I got another 0. So 13 goes into 110. I believe it goes 8 times. Let me check that. 8 times 10 is 80. 8 times 3 is 24. So it's going to be 8. Let me extend my bar here, my line. So 8 times 13 is going to be 104. Okay, but you know what? I'm pretty sure that I can see which one is bigger and which one is smaller here, because none of these other ones go to so many decimal places. But maybe I'll just do one more here. So 110 minus, there we go. I get a 60 here. 13 goes into, anyways, I'm going to stop here because I can already tell which one's bigger and which one's smaller. I can tell that this one that I just did is a little bit smaller than this one over here. So if I had to arrange them from smallest to biggest, the first one would be 1 over 6. And the second one would be 0.3. The third one's going to be 2 over 13. And finally 0.56. And that's because oops, I think I made a little mistake here. Okay, and the mistake is I did not include the 1 here. I totally forgot about the 1 over here. I did not see that. So really, this one is the smallest number. Okay, 2 over 13 is the smallest number and should go way over here at the beginning, because that is 0.15 is smaller than 0.16 repeating. So it's going to be 2 over 13, and then 1 over 6, and then 0.3, and then finally 0.56. So forget about this order. Here is the real deal down here. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. See you next time.